Major changes are coming to the New York Jets as an insider has revealed a huge report on this team as something that nobody saw coming just a few months ago now has become very real with the Jets and with potential starters, and we're going to jump right into it as always. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here. If you guys are part of that 62% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this. You do not want to miss out on all the great Jets content, but let's jump into the video. Matt, one of the first things that Aaron Glenn made very clear when he got this New York Jets job is the fact that no position was safe. There was no depth chart because he didn't care what happened before. He's here now. It's Aaron Glenn's show, and he's going to decide who the starters are, who wants it the most, who's the most effective, aka who's the best. And what we've seen is a really, really surprising turn of events. Now, the Jets, they had an active offseason, made a couple signings, nothing too marquee outside of the Justin Fields deal, which was a big deal, but also he's a quarterback. He's a starting quarterback, and he's Justin Fields, so it's always going to be a bit of a thing. But one of the more underrated signings that the Jets made, and we talked about this at the time, is when they signed former Packers center Josh Myers. Now, Myers has a history at Ohio State with Justin Fields, and it was another move of thinking, wow, that's interesting. I guess it's phenomenal depth. You broke down the PFF numbers being something that was very positive, and then Zach Rosenblatt revealed a hard truth bomb on this, which is that Myers, it's looking like he could be stealing that starting job from Tippmann. As Rosenblatt said, when last season ended, it was assumed that the Jets were looking or locked in at 4 of their 5 offensive line spots, and they'd add a new starter at right tackle. They did do that last part, drafting Armand Memo in the first round, but the other 4 starters aren't quite locked in. Myers and Tippmann are in a legitimate competition to start at center, one that will presumably extend into training camp. Myers has more experience with 56 starts, though Tippmann showed some flashes as a full-time starter as well at center last year. It will be something to track in July as training camp gets going. And on top of that, Josh Myers said, I spoke with my agent a lot about where we wanted to end up landing when he signed with the Jets, saying, the more we talked about it, the more we thought about it, the more the Jets just seemed like the perfect fit. For one, just everything I've got with Justin Fields, the camaraderie we have. Also, we like the direction this team's going in, and we're really excited for it. I actually FaceTimed him as soon as I found out. He was pumped. He was coming back from Dubai. I'm super pumped to play with him again. So obviously there's that connection. Having the connection with the center is always important as a quarterback and just your offensive line in a general sense. We know Justin Fields does need a strong offensive line, Matt. So all this coming into play, we saw this get teased a little bit, but Myers looked really, really good in OTAs, and Rosenblatt seems to think there's a likely scenario that Myers wins this job.
So it was a little bit suspicious looking at the PFF grades on Josh Myers, then looking at how small the contract was that we signed him to. It felt like a really, really good deal, almost a steal for the New York Jets. Now it's looking like maybe something else can be happening here. Maybe Aaron Glenn told Josh Myers something happened, or could Aaron Glenn have told Josh Myers, given him extra assurances behind the scenes that we don't know about? We thought Joe Tippmann was one of the most solid starters on our offensive line, along with our first-round right and left tackles. But, you didn't see this coming. I obviously did not see this coming. Josh Myers, we know he has that connection with Justin Fields. That's another thing. Justin Fields has no connections to Joe Tippmann. Justin Fields doesn't care that Joe Tippmann has been the team's starting center. Justin Fields doesn't care that the fans like Joe Tippmann. He wants his guy that he has a connection with. We know how important it is to have a strong connection between your quarterback and your center, because when you are dropping snaps, that's obviously the absolute worst thing you can do. It's something that Justin Fields has struggled with in the past. When he was with Chicago, he had a high dropped snap rate compared to the other quarterbacks. It obviously wasn't a very high number, but compared to other quarterbacks, it was something that he struggled with a little bit. Now, getting a center that he is familiar with can only help Justin Fields. We know that making Justin Fields comfortable is a high priority for Aaron Glenn. This is just another way to make that happen. So if Joe Tippmann and Josh Myers are very close skill-wise, we know that Aaron Glenn is going to go with his signing. He's going to go with Josh Myers. Also, we know the new GM, Darren Mougey, and Aaron Glenn, they want their guys to be the reason why the team's turning around. So if you were not drafted in the first round, no job is safe. We're seeing it right now. Joe Tippmann drafted in the second round, the highest possible round. That is not the first round, but it is low enough in the draft where you do not have that 5-year contract that comes with a first-round pick. So Joe Tippmann, his job isn't safe when the new regime brings in new players at that position. We were absolutely confident that Joe Tippmann was going to be retaining that starting spot. It's looking like things are changing.
One of the things that happened when we first reported on this, which probably nearly a month ago now, in the back of my mind, I didn't say this in the video because there was no point of me saying it really, but my reaction was, Myers isn't taking the job. It's Tippmann's. And obviously it was Tippmann's to lose. Like, in full transparency, it was obviously Tippmann's. But I am really surprised that it's happening. That's no knock on Josh Myers whatsoever. But in my mind, I was like, Joe Tippmann looks good. He's young. He's been with the team. And I know he hasn't been with this regime, but he's been here. We've seen success here. He's young. He's locked up on a contract for more time than Myers is. Myers is on that 1-year deal. So a lot of it went to my head where I was like, what if they start Josh Myers, he's excellent, and walks, and now Tippmann's kind of upset with you guys? Like, it feels like it'd be a bad idea almost. Obviously, again, if Myers is the better player, then you're going with Myers. I'm not saying don't go with Myers if he's the better player because of any of these reasons. I just figured because of those reasons, and also, I guess, hometown bias, I just figured Tippmann was going to be better. Like, so now obviously it's clearly going to be a debate, and my guess, and again, I know it's the new regime thing, which changes this a bit, is my guess is that Myers has played better, just in a general sense, played better than Tippmann, but the Jets are giving some level of seniority to Tippmann for a lot of the reasons I just mentioned, and I'm pretty surprised this is happening. Now, how does a 1-year contract for Josh Myers kind of impact things here?
I really don't think it does impact things. We have seen most of the free agent signings for the New York Jets this offseason have been 1-year low money contracts. If he plays well, he's going to get re-signed. If he doesn't play well, he's not going to get re-signed. Whether or not if he's starting, obviously he's going to have more opportunities to play well. And if Justin Fields plays well, then Josh Myers will definitely be back. I don't think it's going to be that big of a dynamic, him being on a 1-year deal, because it's not like Joe Tippmann is still on his rookie deal. We don't have a center under contract long term or for a lot of money. So we are free at that position to sign whichever player this regime deems to be the long-term option at center. And, just like you said, let the best man win. We thought it was going to be Joe Tippmann, and that's not us talking down on Josh Myers. That's us hyping up Joe Tippmann. We know, I'm not even going to say we thought or we think, we know Tippmann's a good center. So if Josh Myers is even better, that's something to be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. At the end of the day, if Myers is better, it's a good sign. It's just a matter of they have to figure out a way to retain him, which I figure they would. So it's not, in my mind, something that I'm going to constantly think about, but it is something to have in the back of your mind, as well as the fact that would you see a world, I think it's possible, that maybe Myers does start at the beginning of the year. He plays really well. The Jets have 2 wins by week 7.
If you want to have something in the back of your mind, think if Josh Myers is our long-term starter, what kind of draft pick can we get for Joe Tippmann?
I was going the other way. I was going, what if Myers plays well and the Jets decide we have 2 wins? What if he leaves? Let's move him.
Oh, I wouldn't move the guy. That's when the 1-year contract hurts you a lot.
Yeah.
Just like Kevin Durant. People don't want to trade for a guy with a 1-year contract.
Exactly. It's the same thing because Josh Myers is the Kevin Durant of football, as we all know.
Josh Myers is 37 years old.
He's 37 and a top 15, 20 player of all time, absolutely. So, good comparison there. But
he's also looking for a max contract.
He's also looking for a max deal on top of everything else to extend him into his age 40 career and does not want to go to Minnesota under any circumstances. So all that being said, sounds just like these guys are the same person, obviously. And also the Suns always were green. But I don't know. But I am curious what happens with Tippmann in this situation. Like, if they move him, what's your expectation? I'm guessing third round pick, maybe a late pick on top of that.
I think if he was being open to being moved, teams would understand that the New York Jets are trying to move him. That would hurt our leverage in a deal. I would expect a 4th round pick, which sucks, but that's what I would expect.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. Like
I don't want to do that either. But I mean, a backup center or a draft pick that can help the team for the future. If we are, if trade deadline comes, Josh Myers is the starter. We have 6 or 7 wins. Don't trade him. Keep him as a backup. if we, just like you said earlier, have 2 wins, the team's not ready now. So what if we don't have a backup center for when our starter gets injured? Yeah. Trade him away, take the future draft pick. Maybe you package him with the 6th round pick, go get a 3rd. I think that's actually a more likely deal, and a deal that Jets fans would be much more excited about.
I agree. Guys, what do you want to see happen? Who do you think will end up winning the starting job? Matt, real quick, who's your guess? Week 1 starter.
There's no reason for them to be hyping up Josh Myers the way they're hyping him up. He's definitely my pick.
That's the same way I feel. If all this is coming out about Josh Myers, it kind of feels like it's going to be Josh Myers. But we'll have to see. Let us know what you guys think, if you disagree or not. And also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Have a great day, guys. It's Friday. You made it to the weekend. Go Jets.